Well, another splendid day in beautiful Pembrokeshire. Sun out, a little bit of breeze.
Hi guys, welcome back to Offshore Adventures. It's great to be back down onto the boat today. It's a beautiful sunny day and we're going to go out and in this episode show you the fish finder aspect of the Garmin, and Bob will give you a little bit more technical detail on that.
We will indeed. Out on the water, it's the Garmin 8410 XSV chart plotter. Remember, in part one of the film we had a look at the navigational features, and in this bit we're just going to give you a brief introduction to the fishing aspects of that chart plotter and its capabilities. So come and join us for part two of the film. Okay, so in the first part of the film, you'll remember we dealt a lot with the navigation screens, and I thought before we go into the detail of the sonar and the fish finder, we'd just have a quick look at the couple of other screen facilities that they've got here. You'll see them marked as Fishing 3D and Fisheye 3D. So the fishing chart we'll come to when we discuss the sonar in a bit more detail, but the 3D chart is just another graphical representation of what's in front of you. If we touch the screen there, you'll see then that it builds in effect a 3D skyline. You just see it rendering there as it works out. Directly ahead of us there, you'll see just in the middle of the channel there, A, the other boat, and then B, the starboard marker, sorry, the port marker, the red marker there. And if we scan down to the map here, you'll see there that it's flashing there and obviously letting you know where the marker is. It's showing a graphical representation of us just there. There, the little green craft. That's the boat, the pilot vessel. I think that is one of the Milford Port Authority work boats. And if we just pan back a bit, you can see there that you get that. A bit like almost like computer gaming, I guess. You get that graphical rendered 3D image of roughly what the landscape should look like in front of you, be it flat or mountainous. So there, that's what the 3D chart is about. And then finally, the final option up there is the Fisheye 3D. So if we touch that, and what that's now doing, it's using the transducer. And we're basically looking here at the bed of the Milford Haven estuary that we're on at the moment. You can see here the depth gauge is going down to just under 50, or just around about 15 meters, which of course is confirmed in the corner there. So you can see the depth is now going down. So we're basically getting almost like a 3D representation of the seabed. Which again is another interesting facility on this. I'd imagine that one of the useful features, or one of the useful things, or the way that could help you, might well be if you're looking, say, for wrecks, or if you're looking for where you get underwater shelves, where perhaps fishing is going to be very good or more attractive, where the ground suddenly gets deeper and you get your predator fish, then so all of that are sort of ways that it can help you start identifying A, what's beneath you, and B, whether it's going to perhaps be any good for the sort of fishing you're out to do. So that's your is your Fisheye 3D facility. You can see as well down the right hand side here, you can obviously store favourites, charts, and perhaps you use regularly. There's also a thing called smart mode. That of course is a bit more relevant to perhaps larger boats, but the one sometimes that I use is like a shortcut. You can drop into the fishing one. If you touch that, it brings up a preset set of charts divided into 4, so you've got the 3 different facilities that exist, or that we get with the GT54 UHD Transducer. Gives us these 3 combos, if you like, of watts, or representations of what is beneath us, plus of course your standard navigation chart, which when it's in fishing mode gives you a lot more detail of the contours beneath you. Again, probably for the same reason that you're perhaps looking for those shelves, those steep drop-offs, those places, the wrecks perhaps, or the places where fish might be hiding. So let's go back to the home. And the other bit that we didn't look at the other day was this one helm bit in the corner there. If we touch that, that gives you some shortcuts to some other facilities that the 8410 has. You'll see up there that you've got an ability to link it with a Garmin Verb camera, and you can upload footage and display footage on the screen if you've got one of those. It's also got some shortcuts and different ways to look at your engine data. So if you touch engine there, you can see, obviously, yes, you pick up information from the 6YC, but this again throws it all onto the one screen. Just filled up with fuel, so they're showing us 100%, coolant temperature, oil pressure, RPM. We're at 2000 RPM at the moment. And then this has also got, if you use the arrows here, it's also got alternative ways to actually, or indeed additional information that you can get displayed on the screen. So and then if we touch it again, it goes back to the first screen. Back home again, and you can get a fuel display or a fuel chart, and again it's just different ways of the 8410 presenting information from your boat. Not all the facilities on this here are of course wired into this 895, but certainly some of the bigger vessels would be, I'm sure, using a lot more of the facilities. But still good for a vessel this size, still gives you lots of good ways to present the data and to keep a track of what's happening on your boat. And each time it's back to the home screen, and then from there you can choose your shortcuts, or of course you can go into those settings that we touched on in film 1. Another one I'll touch on very briefly is this top left one here. That's the Garmin ActiveCaptain. Some of you will probably recognise that already, in that there is an app which is loadable to iOS or Android, called Garmin ActiveCaptain, and if you touch that, then it now gives you an ability to interact with the system, as it were. So if you've downloaded information, software updates onto your phone or iPad or whatever, then this also gives you the ability to start to use your phone to connect, or iPad to connect with the 8410 through its own Wi-Fi. You'll remember it has its own Wi-Fi, and from there you can either synchronize data. The whole Garmin community has a quick draw community that anybody can contribute to through the ActiveCaptain app, which might perhaps highlight good fishing spots or other navigational points of interest, and provides a really useful facility for particularly for carrying out software upgrades, which we've done several times already to get updated mapping and things like that. So that's the Garmin ActiveCaptain. That's the icon that you'd get if you were downloading it from your respective app stores, and it gives you that connectivity, wireless connectivity, for a number of different functions that Garmin Marine offer us, in effect, as boaters. Okay, so from the fishing point of view, if we go first of all into settings and then drop onto alarms, you'll remember that from the first part of the film, one of those was the sonar alarms, where you can set your shallow water or your deep water, etc. But of course there was also the fish one, so we will switch that one on, so that hopefully the system, while we're doing some filming today, will pick up and warn us of a lot of fish underneath us, hopefully. So that's the fish alarm set, and now we'll go back to the home button and then to charts, and first and foremost we'll have a quick look at the fishing chart. Sorry, just turn that radio down a bit, and you'll see straight away that the fishing chart provides basically a lot more contour information than the navigation chart does. Still all the same navigation features and warnings and buoys and markers that we had with our navigation charts, but just that change in contours that give you a better idea of where your fish might be hiding. So from the home screen again, we can choose combos here, and that gives you an option for all the different types of screen that you can use for your sonar. Obviously with this GT54 UHD, it has some facilities that other transducers wouldn't provide, so you obviously just need to check what your transducer is capable of, what sort of views it's capable of providing. For example, you know, some will provide a traditional type view. This view here is known as clear view, and sometimes that's not available on all types of transducer. So first and foremost, just understand what the capabilities of your transducer is through the Garmin technology. The one we use quite a bit is the mixture of 4 charts, which gives us the navigation chart in the top corner, so you can keep an eye on what's happening. But you can also then jump in and out of any of these screens and enlarge them if you need to. And as we're talking about fish, little trawler going by, heading back into Milford Haven probably to unload the catch of the day. Incidentally, you might be able to hear a little sort of chirp type sound. That is the fish alarm going off there. So from your combo screen, if you're picking up indications or seeing things on the screen that you think might possibly be, and there's that little chirp again that you just heard, that's as things, the transducer's obviously positioned at the back here, so this is what's passing beneath us. So you heard that tiny little chirp, and that's basically that fish alarm that we set earlier. And then you can go, for example, into this screen, magnify it up so you've just got that one screen, and then some of this at the bottom here might well be weed, but some of these other smaller indications here are possibly, and there you hear the little chirp going off again, are probably fish as well. You get obviously the seabed represented there. You can change the colour of the way it's displayed to a myriad of different colours, and this is obviously the surface, which is showing that sort of interference there is likely to be the wash created by us in tickover. So obviously both the props are running, albeit we're only at about 6,000 revs, but that's enough to create that image there. So you can then go back to your combo screen, and you can, for example, bring up the clear view screen by maximising that. That gets rid of a lot of that noise and gives you an ability to see images sometimes a bit more clearly. Just being overtaken there. overtaken by Irish ferries and a yacht. So that's your clear view screen, and then just a simple back again, and or you can choose this screen. So if we go into that, this screen is a thing called side view. So in effect what you're looking at there is the line of the boat as it goes forward, and then if you look down the bottom here, you've got the depth. So we're showing at about, we're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so we are at about 4.8 meters. So between that point there and that is basically the water that's below us. So side view, and hence it is, and we're getting a sort of side image, if you like, of the transducer scanning out to the left and right of the boat. So that is this is the seabed on each side, seabed there, and between the centre of our hull at the back where the transducer is and the seabed, that's our depth of, those are our depths of water each side. So in other words, you get those three different views, which just allow you to try and clarify whether the indications you're perhaps picking up on the fish alarm might well be a place that is good hunting ground for your fishing. So now that Irish Ferries has gone by, we can look here. This particularly is showing up a fair few indications, and that little chirp alarm is going off quite regularly as these objects pass underneath the boat. We'll just zoom out a bit, and you see these little these tiny ones here which have got a bit of red in them, and light red and sort of light blue. Those are likely to be fish that are beneath us. A bit more of a substantial mark than this sort of interference that you get at the top and bottom, which might be weed at the bottom and our wash at the top. You get these little arch shapes which are invariably fish, and the fact that they have a slightly these little red or brown marks just give an indication that they're a bit more of a substantial object than, say, a bit of weed coming by, and that's why you heard that little chirp on the alarm that was telling us. Picking up the wash of the Irish Ferries, who's disappearing off to Dublin probably. So let's go back to that combo screen. So that gives you an idea. You've got your side view there, you've got your traditional, and you've got your clear view, and then in this top corner you can obviously I've got that still running on a standard navigational chart, just so we can keep a track of where we are, which of course you can zoom in and out of, and if you wanted to, you can just tap the screen and make it full screen. And you can see there the much greater contour detail of the chart. If we start zooming in over here, you'll see it really defines the areas, or the base, the bottom of the channel here, in much more detail, so you can get a real feel of where the ground is that you might want to fish. And as a comparison, if we just go back to the nav chart, you'll see there that same ground here got the standard sort of 5 meter contours for the depth, but not much else. So it's just that bit of extra detail that the fishing chart gives you. That's now back there into the fishing chart. That's a flavour then of what those screens can do. into our combo mode there. And indeed, just as with the navigation screens, with the menu, if you bring up one of these on full size and then go into menu, you can see there, oops, light's a bit dodgy, you can see there that you've got now adjustments that you can make on the traditional fish finder there as well, from range to setting up the sonar, the frequencies you might choose to use, which affect what reflections you get or what bounce back you get on the objects beneath you. So exactly the same as the nav screen, except because you're in a fish finding screen, you get a stack of sub menus from that menu button.
So guys, we really hope that you found this episode on the Garmin chart plotter and our focus on the fish finder useful. As always, thank you to all of our subscribers that have subscribed so far, and if you've been enjoying our films and you haven't subscribed, then please do so below. We very much appreciate it. We're enjoying at the moment our community tab and being able to interact with you via that tab on the YouTube channel. So please keep your comments coming. We're really enjoying them. And yeah, very soon we'll be putting some more films out, as we've got the rest of the summer to do that. And one of them that we're working on at the moment is how to dock with twin engines, which some of you might find useful with your boats. So for the moment, we'll say goodbye and we'll see you very soon.
Thanks guys, bye now.